Hello and welcome everybody. Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan. Episode 2 of the preview series, I guess we're going to go with here. I'm Slim, he's Slam, and that to my left is the Bandwagon Fan. Boys, how are we?
Mate, loving it. Week 2.
Week 2's come around just as quickly as week 1 went. And, some ups and downs with the tips, but what they always say, if you fall off the horse, you get back up on it.
Absolutely.
And I don't think we all went as well as we... Well, Schnars will be happy. Me and Sam missed a couple we should have got. So I'm really keen to jump back into those tips and really see how, the season continues to unfold. It's
Two
exciting.
things to start quickly.
Two things to start
One,
quickly.
to the fans out there, I know you love it. Happy to be here.
Of course, yeah, very good.
Two, the introduction with which episode it is getting cross-contaminated between whether it's a review show or a preview show.
Yep,
this is not episode 2 for anyone tuning in for the first time.
This is true. This is episode 7.
7.
In a chronological order. And I guess we probably do need to steer away from the numerical titling is going to really get confusing after
perhaps
this.
Confuses me.
Episode VII.
That would be insanely confusing.
Yeah, but Super Bowls. The Yanks love it.
Yeah, this is true. And to our Yank viewers, we know we've got a couple floating around the traps. Hey, bit of a stop-starty start there, and Schnarzy's just jumped in and kicked us in the guts.
He loves doing it.
Yeah,
Keep him on the toes.
that's right. It keeps us honest, so I'm not going to get too upset about that. It's not your house.
I hate when he does that.
Hey, everyone loves the stock exchange.
Everyone loves the Chiefs just quietly looking at us.
Oh,
Rep it is. If you're coming to us live from YouTube, there's a bit of Chiefs representing.
see
You've got
the
a bit
Chiefs
of
here.
Priest Holmes.
I'm running DT.
DT.
And
Schnars is just rocking that standard tee.
rest in peace, DT, and shout out to my boy Davey Diamond back home. He's back home. Well,
Back home. You've never been there.
Kansas is his home.
And I'm
It's
the
not my
one
home.
who contributes to the stop-starty nature.
But he would be watching back home, rambling. Top 5 stock exchange tonight. We are going to be selling one of the top 5 preseason teams after their week 1 performance, and we're going to bring in a little penny stock to brighten everyone's day. So, Chucky, as I like to do, we'll go to you first. Who are you selling from the top 5 teams?
it makes him feel safe.
It makes me feel safe. From the list of Ravens, Chiefs, Saints, Cowboys, and Niners.
Easy one, Blaze. Cowboys. Sell.
I'm truly shocked at that result.
Quite frankly, don't even deserve to be there. And they're only there because Schnars put together the top 5. I'll be selling them, and I'll be selling them hard. They look crap. Rams ran all over them, did whatever they wanted. Cowboys didn't even deserve to be as close as they were if they hadn't run as well as Zeke did.
Yes, well, that's probably fair. And, on the back of him, that'd be their plan moving forward. I think Dak probably lost a bit of...
Market value on the big deal he's looking for.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it there, very diplomatically. Hey, Schnars, are you selling anyone from that top 5?
I'm interested to see who Slam is bringing in first.
Okay, you want to go there first? You don't want to go parallel?
Okay, fair enough. I'll be ringing in the Seahawks. Hard to believe they weren't there in the first place. As we've said, the NFC West is the best division in football, and quite frankly, should have easily had 2 teams in that top list. Seahawks are led, I should say, by arguably the second best quarterback in the league. We know who number 1 is.
Okay, fair enough.
And
Lamar Jackson.
he was putting on a show down in Atlanta for Seattle. That was Russell Wilson. He was on fire, dominated, week 1 MVP. Couldn't have done any more.
Yep, and he looked really, really smooth doing it
Absolutely. Not quite as smooth, can I just quickly say, as Jamal Adams' visor, which was seriously tough. The blue helmet with a bit of green colour going on. And
It looked good on him.
The green visor looked very tough.
That dark green, that bluey colour, it looks great on Jamal.
We do love it.
He looked at home.
We do love the aesthetics. That's one of our
all
things.
of that.
Hey, Schnars, if you're good and ready now, are you selling anyone from the top 5?
I am, and it's good because I was actually thinking much like Sam with the Seahawks there.
Yeah.
But mine's Cowboys were the easy sell, and the harder sell was probably the Niners. But the Niners lost week 1.
Yep.
They lost to the Cards, so direct swap, flip them for me.
Oh, we're going to just pull them straight out and put and plug and play.
I think they deserve to. We've only got 1 week to base them on, and if you've had a poor week on the stock exchange, then
that's how it goes. It's
That's how it
cutthroat.
goes.
And
It's cutthroat.
The
Wall
Cards,
Street's not a place for simpletons.
No.
it really isn't.
No.
And that's why
It's a dog-eat-dog world out
It is
there.
a dog-eat-dog
we
world.
want to steer clear of any time spent on Wall Street. Why does no one love my stuff anymore?
Because you are just not funny.
You are not the Wolf of Wall Street.
The Cards got involved in probably one of the games of the round, really. D-Hop looked fantastic. Kyler Murray looks every bit as good as advertised, which is really promising for He's such a young quarterback in a kind of up and coming team.
Now, Blaze, can I quickly say something about you just mentioned D Hop? Did you see his tweet on Thursday night, Friday morning? He tweeted, I think it was grateful after watching Houston lose.
I did see that
and
too.
then he had another tweet after his Cardinals got up, just praising himself and the Cards, really.
Naturally.
But there's some bad blood there.
100%.
It was not an amicable split. He is not happy.
I think him and
with
Bill
Houston.
O'Brien.
Him and Bill O'Brien.
I don't think they're getting
There
on
is
too
no
well.
love lost there at all, and I'm all for it. I'm all on team D Hop.
Speaking of good GMs, whoever the person is that advised Kyler Murray to go the NFL route, what a decision.
Yeah, it's
Could
gonna
have
work
easily
out.
taken that guaranteed money, the contract
Baseball.
for the baseball.
with the A's.
Not got hit.
Yeah.
Played some bruise-free baseball.
The contract he's going to end up signing once his rookie deal is done, he's going to far exceed what he probably would have earned in his baseball career. Bit unsubstantiated because, some
Baseball's got some big money.
if you end up one of the top tier, top echelon baseball players, you earn some big money, but he's going to earn a lot of money.
Who
in
did
a short
sign him?
period.
Somebody did sign him. Was it Oakland?
Oakland, it was
Oakland.
Right.
He was
Yeah,
drafted
third,
10th pick.
Athletics.
Wasn't it 10th pick?
Yeah, something like I think it might have been 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in that kind of range. But hey, stock exchange. We're selling the Cowboys and we're selling the Niners after a loss to the Cards. So the Cards are going to come in. And Sam quite rightly put Seahawks going in. Probably stiff not to be in there in the first
It's a
place.
tough division they're in.
It's a tough division.
It's the best
It is.
division in football. There is no doubt about
They are
that.
a lot of fun to watch, and I know we're getting into the preview and the tips coming up, but they've got a good game this week and probably one of the better ones to watch. So, hey, with that said, and probably just touching quickly on the tail end of our review show, the Bengals v the Browns.
The Bengals and the Browns, yeah.
We've introduced that previously. However, something has come to our attention. Schnazi, do you want to take the lead on that one?
Is this that the Bengals are paying $3 against
A nice
the Browns?
and juicy little
Nice
odds.
juicy odds. It's not going to form part of a guarantee or a best bet, I believe.
No, it's not.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's not, no.
But that is, for the way the Browns played in week
It's
one,
juicy.
that is good value for the Bengals, given they should have won.
Yes, and I think that's probably.
I think we'd all agree that game's pretty much a 50-50 at the moment. And to get $3
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a potential
I think-
50-50.
I think last episode I said it was going to be a field goal in the Browns' favour.
Yeah.
So
I took the
$3
Bengals.
odds for that.
Yeah.
Even I'm not too sure if they've
It's a
released. I'm not too sure if they've released the lines yet.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I
on
haven't seen
Sportsbet
the lines.
anyway.
Yeah, I've got
I'd imagine
friends
it paying at
Sportsbet.
$3. The line must be in excess of a score.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? But
So
that doesn't.
I'd be probably getting.
If you could bet the line, you'd take the Bengals line,
Yeah,
probably. If it's
100%.
probably 6, something like that, you'd take the
It must be
Bengals
more.
line.
It must be at least 7.5.
I don't hate that at all. And that's a good little way to kind of introduce the week that is coming. First cab off the rank, Titans v Jaguars. Jags coming in an unexpected 1-0. That's probably an understatement. The Titans, bit of an up and down game with the Broncos, and kind of looking to kick into gear a little bit. But I'm interested to hear what you boys have to say and maybe get your tips in early. I would have thought you'd all go in the same direction, but
Yeah, upper management is, in my brain, is going off because they still can't comprehend the Jacksonville Jaguars have won a game.
Yes. And against the Colts, no less, who we thought were going to be a bit of a mover this year compared to the kind of mediocrity they've experienced since Peyton left, probably.
There was a board meeting last night, and upper management is still as confused as they've ever been with them winning a game. So, based on that logic, Titans, chalk it down as a win for me.
Yeah, I'll be taking the Titans too because I don't think there's any way that lightning in the bottle can be put back out.
If it's gonna happen to anyone twice, it's gonna be him.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
take
probably
that 3 from 3 here. I'll be
Take that
taking
from
the
3 from
Titans
3.
as well.
Anything to watch here, Chucky, you reckon?
Well,
Or-
you'd have to think the rush total for Derrick Henry could get a bit out of control here. You'd have to think he's due for a big game.
Yeah, and there's not heaps left in the I don't know.
We don't think too much of Tannehill, but I think, he could have a big rush.
Yeah, and I don't know that
A bit subdued in week 1 too.
the Jags, do they even have a D-line left now?
No.
They've just kind of moved on.
You don't even gargle.
Calais and then
He's
Ngagwe and all the rest of it. They're all moving on.
He's becoming my new Kirk Cousins. I like the name, and I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
say
I
yeah.
it.
just like saying it.
You haven't got Kirk out recently, but I'm sure he's coming later on.
Mate, I think we touched
Didn't
on that
deserve it
last
after week 1.
Did we?
After I'm a bandwagon fan.
Oh, yes,
Why do you think I'm wearing? I reckon I wore Rams. Rams. Wore the Rams in the review show
Yeah.
because they had a win and I liked it. And this week, there's no better team in football than the Chiefs at the moment. So
Hey, look out. We've got another member on the bandwagon. That's very good.
you just call yourself a bandwagon fan?
No, but I'm saying there is a band.
Oh,
You
no.
Briggs,
no.
there is obviously a bandwagon that exists, and there is a new member on it. That does not necessarily.
And apparently there are
Directly-
two bandwagon wins.
Sorry. Wow.
Whoa. I was getting too
Somebody
excited
take away
with...
that red.
That is not.
I was getting far too excited with calling someone else out in this room for being a bandwagon fan.
Yes.
You were, and that's probably an understatement. Hey,
But it's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, mate. You know I love hosting you, you big prick. Bucks v Panthers is my game of the week, and I know what you're
NFC
thinking.
South.
And I know what you're thinking. Why on earth is that your game of the week?
Oh, I've got a
Because you
sneaking
want to watch
suspicion.
Tom Beatty get absolutely
Beatty. Wow.
I want to see
reamed.
the house of cards come crumbling down. Now, I'm not saying by any means that the Panthers are 100% going to beat the Buccaneers. Do not hold me to that, because I would never say that in a million years.
No.
However,
Especially if they couldn't beat the Raiders.
I do think there is a sneaky chance here that some of this misconstrued faith in Dad's army down there
Right.
of old men is
Old squad of
better
The old squad.
than what they actually are. And if Teddy Bridgewater takes his band of merry men down to the Tampa Bay land and knocks them off, I'm going to be playing the Pied Piper.
If I could just not hear you say men or squad or anything the rest of this whole
Even
show,
Pied
I'd be
Piper.
happy.
Anyway, game of the week purely for that fact. I'll be watching avidly.
And who will you be tipping?
I'll be tipping. You know
It's
what?
going to hurt him. No, he's not.
I'm going to take the Panthers. I'm gonna take the Panthers. Why not? I'll take the Panthers.
Oh,
F them. I was going to go with something else. F them. I'll take the Panthers. C-Mac, baby. 100 rushing, 100 catching, and we'll just walk out of there with a
This
dub.
is Tampa Bay's debut game for Tom Brady at home. Now, I know there's no fans, but sure, Schnaz, he couldn't lose here. Could he?
I think last on the review show last week, I said I had zero worries about the week 1 loss. If they lose this game, I could be sitting around a 4 or 5. So I'm gonna as well take the Bucks, and I'm gonna mark that up as just a free tip because Slim over here is absolutely lost his marbles.
I'll happily take the Bucks, probably plus 10 here.
Plus 10.
Plus 10. Yeah.
The Panthers defense stunk it up.
Defense didn't look good.
Massively.
I'm fully aware of that.
And, you know,
there might have been a
say
bit of...
what you will, but, you know, they were playing a pretty good defense in the Saints, and the Panthers are probably not that.
Oh, 100%. There's probably a bit of grandstanding going on here. But if it was to eventuate in that way, I would be ecstatic and I would get to laugh. And that's ultimately what we're all here for.
A few more
Now,
wet
this
dreams
next
for Big
game's,
Guy.
this next game's an interesting one here, Blake.
It is. It's probably one of... we've kind of mentioned it a few times here. It's not a great week for matchups.
No,
Like,
there
it's
are
not a-
some really lopsided stuff.
But what we will take out of it is the Steelers-Broncos should be a really interesting game.
It is interesting.
Yep. And once again, I'll be taking the Steelers.
You take the
home
Steelers this
team.
week.
Steelers at home.
So you're back that defense
So
in.
I have picked 4 from 4 home teams this week.
Okay, so you're off to a good start.
Juju looked pretty good game
Juju
one.
looked good.
Probably
Juju
didn't
looked
give
pretty
him
good.
enough
He
credit.
we didn't touch enough on that in the review show, but he looked quite
Two
good.
touchdowns?
Two
Yep.
touchdowns. He's in Slammer's fantasy
He'd
team.
be pretty happy to have Big Ben back there throwing balls. too. I think
Absolutely.
that's-
Absolutely. He looked good.
a
And
good way
actually,
to-
someone we didn't mention at all was the running back.
James Conner.
No, he didn't play. Shell or Snell?
Oh, Tony Snell.
Snell
No,
lit
hold
it up.
up. Isn't it a Milwaukee Buck, Tony Snell?
That is Tony Snell. He's the
I don't know.
place of the
Anyway, the
Buccaneers.
bloke's last name is Snell. He rushed, I think he might have had for 100 yards today against the Giants. And I watched a little bit of that game. He's got a lot of pace about him. Found the edge, got upfield.
Is that the Kentucky running back that was drafted?
I don't know. I'd never heard of him before today.
I'm gonna look
Couldn't
this up.
believe it. But he ran very, very nicely. Looked really good. Now, the Broncos didn't show a lot in
Bit
their
of a
opening
letdown,
season
weren't
game.
they?
Yeah. Judy was okay. Made a couple of nice catches. Had one pretty nice catch that he caught on the inside slant and then
Fant
took it
looked
upfield.
And Fant looked really good. Yep.
Yeah, Fant caught a touchdown. Locke was okay. Not as good as probably the end of the season last year. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I am just trying to buy time so that Schnaz can give us the update on this name.
Well,
If she had any decent Wi-Fi in this house, I might have been able to give it to
That's
you 5
just-
minutes ago.
it's just a straight rambling.
It's genuinely loading.
At least let the fans know while you're at it. Dead silence on the mic. It's coming up
We love
again. I just can't. These circumstances.
We'll get to it. Keep going through.
All right, we're gonna move
We'll
along.
take picks. No, take picks.
Oh, I'll take the picks,
Take
of
the
course. I'll be taking. I've lost a bit of faith in the Broncos from last week. I'll be taking the Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers at home. I'll probably take the Steelers. Now, I had the Steelers 8-8, so they're going to start 2-0 for mine, which is maybe a little bit worrying for my
You're
8-8
getting
prediction.
a little
But
bit contradictory.
they will have to play the Ravens a couple of times and that.
Yes.
So,
Sorry, it is who I thought it was. It's the Kentucky running back.
oh well, that's very
Well,
good. And what is his
fantastic.
first name?
Benny Snell.
Benny Snell.
Absolute monster at Kentucky for anyone who watched college football. Known basketball school, so Tony
Yeah.
Snell
Tony Snell.
fans out
Yeah,
there
the
might know him.
the Wildcats aren't known for their.
But
football.
he was huge last year for them.
Yeah.
Literally ran him to a winning record.
Yeah.
I did not actually realize that Pittsburgh took him because I thought James Conner was their man. So I didn't even.
See,
And actually, the wide receiver that I talked about, Chase Claypool, had an okay game. Nothing to hang your hat on or whatever. But he had one end around jet sweep run that was actually quite nice. Found the corner, got a first down. Looked okay for his debut game.
just enough in it. Hey, so
we all taking the Steelers?
I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm
Sam's taking the
also
Steelers.
taking the
All right,
Steelers
3
too.
Steelers
I think
across
the
the board.
Broncos have just lost just because of that Von Miller thing.
They'll have
it's
to-
harder to.
It's a big loss.
Yeah,
They have
it's
to-
a massive loss.
They have to
He's
earn
their
some,
best player.
They have to earn some faith back.
They
don't
do absolutely.
Eagles v Rams. Eagles probably up there with the most disappointing teams from week 1, and Rams really happy to get a win against the Cowboys.
The second most disappointing team from week 1 by far.
Yeah,
Oh,
second.
yes.
Well, yes, true. That's
Indianapolis,
That's
number
very,
one.
very
Oh, what
true.
about the Jets? They were pathetic.
Yes,
Yeah, but no one had
but
great
kind of
expectations for 'em.
expected that from the Jets. But hey, let's talk Eagles v Rams. The Rams are a tasty little $1.85 on our good friend Sportsbet's app, which
Shout
is
out
pretty
to
good.
Sportsbet.
It's pretty good money considering they just knocked off the Cowboys, and Philly have just come off a loss to Washington.
Washington.
So I don't know. Would you take the Rams at $1.85, Chuck?
Absolutely, you
Yeah.
take the Rams at $1.85 against the Eagles, who couldn't beat the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they've probably just got too much for them. Now, you'd hope to see something more out of Cam Akers in this week's game because he was overshadowed by the other rookie running back who
Yeah.
really nobody was even talking about.
Quite
It was not on my radar. and
No, not on anybody's radar, I wouldn't have
Shirted
thought.
under all of them.
Hopefully you'll see some more from Wentz this week, and I'd be happy to be wrong, but no, I'll be taking the Rams over
I'm
the Eagles.
Yeah.
surprised here that this isn't almost your best bet. So I'm actually keen to
Yeah.
find out what your best bet's going to be because I can't
100%.
see it on the board.
It's all right.
It's a doozy.
It'll come. It's coming.
But no, once again, I'll be taking the Rams here. Carson Wentz and the Eagles. They were just no chop.
They
As
were.
I think I mentioned last week's review or week 1's review, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Those
Those dastardly numbers again.
Yeah, they could be 1-5, and they just didn't show anything.
Yeah.
It's just a no from me. So I'll be taking the Rams.
I think you've always got faith in Doug Peterson and the Eagles to find a way. And but with a loss like that, it raises too many
It's a very
questions.
bad
This one would have
loss.
been a really interesting tipping game had the Eagles knocked off Washington,
Yeah.
because then it'd be like, well, who do you take? It's an interesting one, but yeah, so far we haven't seen anything from the Eagles to say, oh, pick
Washington
us.
were one of
Yeah.
our worst rated teams going
Yeah,
into the
100%.
season.
they both had them like 4-12.
100%.
I'm pretty sure.
And I think we had the division between the Eagles and the Cowboys, and we're like, oh, it's going to be a close one.
I think
So-
what this boils down to the most is Rams. They're in the best division in football. Eagles, they're in arguably one of the worst divisions in football.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you
There's a lot of bad
make
teams.
your tips.
A lot of bad teams. Hey, 3 Rams.
Three
Three
Rams.
Rams.
3 Rams.
3 Rams.
Jets 49ers. Bit of a snoozer, but this will kick us into
Slammers guarantee.
a little bit of a segue to kind of spice things up just a touch. Slammer,
Now,
take it
sports
away, my
fans,
friend.
I know we got upset last week because we didn't hit that first guarantee.
No, but we did hit Patrick Peterson's helmet.
We did, and that's what lost it for us. I'm down $50 for it. Sports bet. Yeah. Now,
We will raid though.
we will fight back. Now, sports fans,
Gamble responsibly.
Slammers guarantee this week is Niners at Jets. They're $1.34. Chuck the Bills in there against the Dolphins. That's $1.37. And then take the Ravens. Who are they playing? The Texans at $1.29. That'll get you $2.36 or power play to $2.50 from our good friend Sports.
What about if you want a bit more juice in that?
Now, if
Simon?
you want to
you were
add
to
a little bit
juice
of
it
juice, I'm
up.
adding a flex. Now, I'm not adding this as my guarantee because I'm not trying to get out there. Last week I did. I tried to get a bit juicy with it so that the odds were a little bit juicy.
And
But
it
that's
burnt you.
too hard when I'm trying to guarantee this. I'm trying to say this is 100% fact.
Yeah.
So
This
what
is
I'm
double
telling
your
you,
money,
this
like.
is So you can get $2.50 power played on those first 3 teams. But if you want to turn this into a nice juicy 4-leg table multi, add in the Packers. Now, the Packers, I can't remember what they were at the overall odds just to win their game. Now, who were they playing
The
again?
Lions.
The Lions. So they should win. Now, but if you add the Packers into that multi, you'll get $3.16 or power played to about $3.50. So if you put $50 on, you're looking at about $175 return if you add those 4 teams in.
That's very quick math.
Thank you.
That's Office Works approved.
Thank you.
Now, Slammers Guarantee, proudly sponsored by the Jersey Cartel.
The Jersey Cartel, as is our whole show.
Our whole show, our marquee sponsor, the Jersey Cartel, a really great friend of the show, and he's come on board to...
Hit him up on Facebook.
Have a look. Those jerseys are legit.
Legit.
They are to die for. So make sure you have a look and tell them that...
About $70, I think $70.
$60, I think.
$60. There you go. And they are good quality.
Don't quote me on that. And if you do go down there and buy, make sure you let him know that you came from us.
And if he says 70, Blaze will spot you 10.
Ah, Jesus.
There you go.
All right.
We'll send out Blazers
and that's
BSB.
a Blazers guarantee.
We'll send out Blazers BSB and his account details at the end of the show.
Good luck.
But no, if you are going to buy a jersey from the Jersey Cartel, mention Slim Slam Bandwagon Fan and you might receive a sneaky little discount.
That is in the works, and we'll start advertising that shortly. Hey, enough about that one. Never enough about the Jersey Cartel. That was a little bit rude. But I mean, moving on to the Dolphins v Bills. Now,
Hold up.
Oh, hang on. We haven't given our tips.
We didn't give our tips. I know the fan.
We didn't really talk about it.
You've just breezed through this because they're playing the Jets. So
yes, that's probably
to
true.
wrap this up quickly, I'll also be going the Niners.
Yeah. Niners.
Yeah, Niners. There's no question here whatsoever.
They
I think
will
that's
just
probably
have too much.
Probably where the little bit of miscommunication came in there.
Yeah, I think we just all got distracted with Slammers Guarantee, which was a brilliant segment.
I was just actually putting it on there, and I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Need to earn back my 50 I lost.
Yeah, the last guarantee. Hey, Dolphins v Bills slightly featured in the guarantee just then. I think we're all pretty confident that the Bills will beat the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins let us all down a little bit. Is there any
I was hurt.
Is there any? I don't think there's any chance.
You tipped them last week.
I did because they were just at such juicy odds, and I just thought, stuff the Patriots. I hate the Patriots. I wanted them to die.
Schnaz, there's no chance we see Tua this week.
No, not this week.
Not this week.
Should we though?
But should we?
All right. Let me pose this question to you, Tom Schnaz. If you were the coach of the Miami Dolphins, after what you saw from Fitz, tragic, I think you quoted.
Is that right, Blaze?
So, would you,
right.
given the choice, would you start Tua this week after the pitiful performance from Ryan Fitztragic?
Being a Bills fan, no.
No?
Short answer.
Right.
If I put my
But in the best
Dolphins
interest
hat on,
of the Dolphins, perhaps.
I would start Tua.
Yes. I'm of the same
Or I'd
opinion.
give him the second half of the game to let him work his way into a season.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's something that we don't know about. He hasn't played since that tragic injury at Alabama. So I'm not too sure whether there's something
Alabama. The Alabama Crimson Tide. Mama, give me 15 flapjacks. I said, Mama, take back 5 of those flapjacks. I got to stay hungry for the Crimson Tide. What is his voice?
What the fuck was that?
Was that like an impromptu sponsor?
I don't know what the...
That's from a movie.
Flapjacks.
Play on.
Proudly sponsoring.
This is the Pancake Kitchen in Adelaide or something. Jesus Christ, no.
Anyway.
Say something.
Alabama. Anyways, no. Bringing it full circle. Bringing it full circle.
Oh,
I think there must be something for them to make it. It seemed like a pretty easy call for them to start Fitztragic over Tua. So there must be something we're not seeing. Maybe he's just trying to get his body right. Maybe they're putting him through some contact. And
maybe he's learning. Maybe he's learning the book. Like that's
They're giving him the Mahomes treatment.
Well, I don't know that Fitztragic is as good a teacher as Alex Smith, but
Definitely not.
anyway.
I would definitely see him in the first half of this season, unless there is something that we don't know about.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But I do not think that Dolphins front office will want to come out and advertise that there's something wrong with Tua
Absolutely
because
not.
that will kill all their fans.
I think you're
hopes and dreams.
100% correct, Schnazzy boy. On the money there. Hey,
I'll say this, though. If this goes very poorly, say the Bills are out them 30-7 to a week 3. Has to be.
yes.
Has to be.
And as Schnaz rightly says.
If they're up 4 scores to nothing at halftime, could we see Tua in the second half?
We could. Probably one to watch in that sense. I mean, the Dolphins fans...
We'll keep our finger on the pulse.
The poor bastards, they must just... Yeah. They'd be,
3 bills here? Are we taking 3 bills?
We're taking 3 bills for sure. They'd be crying
Have we
out.
agreed on every game so far?
Yep, and it's concerning. No,
No,
Blaze.
I took the Panthers.
Blaze took the Panthers.
Yes, wow.
In a real chance to swing the momentum. Hey, Colts v Vikings, aka...
Blaze, do you want to give us your thoughts here?
My best bet for the weekend. Now, the Indianapolis Colts last week
Tragic.
lost to Jacksonville. Jacksonville. We, as a collective 3 pretty avid NFL fans, can only name 1 player on Jacksonville's
2.
list. 2.
Tyler Eifert.
Tyler Eifert. We did
And
adjust
Gardner
that to
Minshew.
2. 2. Albeit, none of them played defense. And
Oh! Wait, who are we talking about? No, it's not really relevant. Don't worry about it.
All right, no worries.
Thanks.
Cut me down in my prime.
Sorry, no, there was a rookie.
This
that,
impromptu.
There was a rookie that started at cornerback for the Jags, and he had a cracking game in week 1. Had a pick, and it had me thinking, Jalen who?
Well, that might be a little bit of a claim. But hey, best bet segment.
But good for him.
Best bet segment this week, and a little bit
Well
of
done, son. Well done.
in a little bit of a convoluted segue, the Colts lost to the Jags. The Colts were absolutely deplorable. They've lost Marlon Mack to an Achilles injury. Phil Rivers looks anything but solid at quarterback there. Now, they're hosting the Vikings this week.
Hosting, yes.
Now,
correct.
the Vikings had a loss, albeit,
yes.
to the Packers, but it was a shootout, and they
I
did...
don't see how they can go in favourites.
I don't understand
The
that.
Colts.
No, the Vikings.
Yes. No,
Oh, the Colts. Sorry, I don't
yes,
see how
the
they go
Colts.
in
Yeah.
favourites. Yeah,
It's
sorry.
bizarre.
My best-
I can't work
It's
that out.
mind-boggling.
My
Sports
best...
fans, get on it right now.
Sorry, Blaze's best bet.
My best segment... Thank you, Schnars.
No, your best bet. Yeah.
And his best segment because the only one we're giving him.
Can someone get me up and out of this? Best bet Vikings, $2.36 to beat the Colts head to head. Are you kidding me?
Where'd you get 36 from?
Down the bottom here, mate. It's on the board.
Oh,
Are
it
you
says
going to
220
enter?
It says 225 next to the Vikings.
I don't know, mate, but it says 236 right there.
Whose segment is this?
Oh, you just,
Why are there two different odds? Oh,
this guy, can he get any more airtime? You reckon?
Oh
I'm-
my god!
I'm
He was
done.
wearing a clown hat last week. He's an absolute clown. He might as well just put it back on now, in my opinion.
236 for the Vikings to beat the Colts, and I'm out of here.
I
yeah,
like that.
I'd agree with that.
I like that.
That's the stance.
Yeah, he's
Unbelievable.
Not
No,
power
but it is
stancing.
bizarre, isn't it, Schnars? How could you possibly, after what you saw from the Colts in week 1, dish them up $1.65 favourite against the Vikings, who lost by, 9 or 11 to the Packers, who played pretty well?
Because Aaron Rodgers is so much better than
Kirk.
Phil Rivers as well.
Correct, yes.
And Kirk Cousins. So
Right, yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Both of them.
Anytime you talk, it's like Kirk
But it's
Cousins.
just, that is mind-boggling. So sports fans, if you hear this, get on as quick as you can, because those odds have got to be
Even
bound to
if
change.
you're a more conservative gambler, take him at the line. Take the Vikings at the line.
Absolutely.
If you can get a
At
field
that
goal or
line,
something like
at
that.
the odds there, that'd have to be like +5.5, +6.5.
Yeah, at least a field goal, 3.5, I'd think. But
At 236, I reckon more
As
than that.
as Blazer's best bet segment tends to go, it's not a guarantee, but it's where the value is.
That
And-
is
and
value
there-
for money.
And there is value in that 100%.
Massively.
Hey,
Beautiful.
before
Great tip from you, Blaze.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. And you only jumped all over the segment about 3 or 4 times. So
That's
it.
okay.
But
We'll
we can
move
iron that
past
out.
that.
It's a work in
You
progress,
know,
mate.
I was just happy for you. That's
I
great
know
odds.
That I appreciate it. Hey, 3 Vikings?
3 Vikings.
3 Vikings.
Okay, let's just... Are we taking the exact same...
I think we said this at the top of the show, though. It's
not a great
it's
week
not
for
a great
games.
week
There's
for
a
competitive
lot of heavy
football.
favourites.
And I
that's the
think
best
this
way
is
to
what
put
we're
it.
leading into the next game with the Packers and Lions, which I've pulled out as my game of the week.
Yeah.
Only because I think this could be another high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Right.
We all know Matt Stafford can absolutely throw the pigskin.
Did let us down a little bit week 1, though, didn't he?
He did let us down. He did let us down. But the Packers put up, was it 43?
43.
43?
43-34 win.
So I'm expecting this could be another win to the... I'm going to tip the Packers, but I'm expecting it could be a sort of a similar, 36 to 30 score. So
Yeah.
a good one to watch if you're about offensive football.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones because it is a bit slim pickings this week, and I know we're not trying to downplay the NFL or their schedule by any means, but there's only a handful of games here that are really jumping out at us as must-watch
Must-watch
television.
TV, yeah.
And that's probably one of them. I mean, it's the black and blue division,
Correct.
so
Yep.
there's that in it.
Oldest division in football.
They
the NFC
usually,
North.
they have had a history of having some pretty good games recently. I think
Correct.
last year.
Did have it. There was a Hail Mary game for Rodgers against the Lions not too
so
long ago.
there's a little bit in that. History would suggest that it might be worth having a look. I'll be taking the Packers.
And the Lions absolutely hate the Packers. Like
They do.
everybody talks about the Packers. They're revered in that
Yeah.
division. The Lions, nobody's got any time for the Lions. They've done nothing as a franchise for 50
And I
years.
don't know how well the receivers can play again for the Packers.
Yeah.
Well, that is one to watch.
That
they
is something
they
else to watch.
definitely exceeded expectation in week 1, those wide receivers. And if they could do that again,
Detroit,
the GMs there in Green Bay will be feeling very happy about
They'll have a
themselves.
bit
They
of
become
wobble.
a serious chance as well to, run the table in that division.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Detroit-
if you can get 2 division games, 2 division wins this early in
start.
the season, that's
Yeah.
a great start to
Detroit
your
were
year.
also down Kenny Golladay over the weekend.
Were
He
they?
didn't-
There
he
you
didn't play-
go.
He didn't play at all. Shout out to my fantasy team that still beat young Hutchie without him.
Very good.
But Kenny Golladay, not the
Got that.
Didn't quite put up
Wide receiver-
205.8 fantasy points, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I opened that can of worms.
You
didn't I?
did. I had one hell of a week.
Hey, I'm going to take the Packers in this one. I like Aaron Rodgers a bit too much, and I think that
Likewise for mine.
that
boys.
wide receiver room might just overwhelm them a little bit. I know they got Jeff Okudah in there. He had a bit of a low. His debut game wasn't.
He was questionable going into game 1.
Yeah, there you go.
He was
A bit
questionable.
light on, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Not Devontae, sorry. Aaron Jones, an interesting one to watch in this one because I don't think he didn't do
no,
too
quite
much
quiet.
against the Vikings,
Yeah.
but that is quite a good defense there in Minnesota. But yeah, one to watch here because I don't know how good the Lions D linebackers and D line is.
Yeah.
So
You
interesting
got
there.
you got
Aaron Jones would be
Trey
interesting.
Flowers in there, I think. He's a
Don't
bit
know.
of
They had a
stud,
bloke.
but-
The Lions had a bloke sent off as well. Actually, headbutted a ref.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it
that-
Landon Collins? No.
That was an innocuous call. If you watch the replay, albeit the one,
But
I
you're not
watched was
allowed
in
to
slow
touch a
motion,
referee at all.
He was leaning forward and driving towards the ref, and the ref almost stepped towards him.
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
the
he
same-
wouldn't be happy about it, but
he
he's only got himself to
flinched
blame.
forward. He's got himself to blame, but it was an innocuous call. The rules
Yeah. The rules
pretty
are
clear.
there.
The rules
It's
are
clear
rules.
cut.
It's
So,
just, and they're very
but
black
it
and
wasn't
white with that.
when we talk about send off. It was not an aggressive send off.
No,
he didn't
absolutely.
do.
He didn't
anything
drive his head
unsportsmanship.
When we
Yeah.
say
Bloke,
he
no.
headbutted the ref, it wasn't like he
This has
cracked
gone
him.
It was
back.
more like his head was there and it
Yeah.
sort of just
He wasn't
connected.
trying to do. He wasn't. Pissed it.
Yeah, no shit. It's glad
God.
you said it.
F-bombs.
Cowboys-
It's all happening.
Cowboys v Falcons. A bit of an interesting one, I guess, in the terms of two teams that probably false started a little bit in week 1. I think Atlanta probably would have liked a bit more out of Gurley and whatnot, and then I guess the Cowboys, going down to
Whose loss is more impressive? Are you more impressed with the Cowboys' loss to the Rams or the Falcons' loss to the Seahawks? It's the Falcons for mine.
I think you probably have to take the Falcons,
Yeah.
considering opposition.
Seahawks are a very good team. I'm not
Not
sure
a
how
great
good the
defense,
Rams
though.
are.
We hype up Jamal Adams, and we have said since
Yeah,
the
but they
Legion
scored
of Boom.
25 points. 25 points will win you a fair few games.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they haven't scored 25 points against a great defense.
No,
so let's
okay.
not
Yeah.
overvalue.
Yeah.
Are the
25
Cowboys a great
points.
defense?
They were horrible.
They're meant to be, but they're not at all.
Yeah, they lost.
paid.
Was it
losing
Byron
Byron
Jones?
Losing Byron
is a
Jones
huge loss
hurts
for him.
massively.
But Demarcus Lawrence has completely fallen off a cliff. I don't know what's going on there. He was, I mean, maybe that's a hot
Blazers hot take.
maybe that's a hot take, and me and Demarcus would not go well in a cage fight. But
Wouldn't be
You'd
much
have his
left
number,
to
I
you.
reckon.
if there was 7 of me. But with that said, he's paid like a marquee. I think he's an off-ball linebacker. I'm pretty sure.
Outside linebacker. yeah.
Outside linebacker. Yeah, sorry. And I just think there's so much money in that defense, and it's just not firing. I think Matty Ice and Julio and the boys, Calvin Ridley, your
Calvin
breakout
Ridley,
star,
the breakout star with 2 TDs in week 1.
had a
Who
really
did they
good
lose
job.
on defense as well from that injury?
Who? Who we
Cowboys.
talking?
Cowboys.
Oh, Leighton Van Der Esch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very important.
They-
to
Middle
them as well.
linebacker.
They had 2 significant injuries.
Well,
One,
I've
someone
given
did-
you the first one, so over to you for the
Jarwin,
second.
the tight end, did his ACL.
Yes,
from
you
memory.
are right. The
Jarwin.
starting tight end did,
Yeah, so-
yes. Which means the backup that they got from Kansas City might be seeing some snaps.
Yes, you called him out, didn't you, at one point?
I just said that I just said it was an interesting get. The Cowboys, I think, picked up 2 players that would like reserve
Yeah,
fringy
I
from the
remember this.
Chiefs,
It's a
which I
guard,
thought
isn't
seemed smart. Just anytime
Good
you can
list
take
management.
players, anytime you can take players from the best team in the league, even if they're fringe players. you know.
They bring something because there's a reason they're not getting picked in the best team. It doesn't necessarily
Correct.
mean they're not that good. Hey, very interesting, I guess, tips, and we might actually finally fracture from each other. Who are you taking, Chuck?
Cowboys Falcons in Dallas.
While he's thinking about it.
I'll take the Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys. I think you have to take the
Dead
Cowboys.
silence on the mic as he contemplated whether
Sorry, I was thrown in the deep end.
Whether-
I hadn't worked it out.
whether he can put aside his hatred for the Cowboys and pick.
Yeah.
them
I know.
well.
Yeah, that really was it, wasn't it?
To make up for lost time, I'll take the Cowboys.
I will likewise be taking the Cowboys. and
Oh
we didn't
God!
differ
Somebody needs to
at
take the
all.
Falcons.
Bears v Giants.
Here's one.
This should be interesting. The Bears shocked probably the world
Absolutely.
with Trubisky's last quarter, especially.
Bears had 1 quarter of football that was good.
Yeah,
And that was
everyone
enough
and-
against the Lions.
And everyone almost fell over. The Giants up and down here and there. I don't know with New York anymore. You got Jason Garrett in there now, who's
Oh,
just,
don't forget, Blaze. They're a top 10 offense.
Oh, of course. Well, we
And
can't
that top 10 offense will take him to a victory this week.
Wow!
Mark it down.
There
Giants
it
win.
is.
taking that. The Giants.
Win.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I can't believe I'm going with the Bears,
I
but
don't
I'm
know if
going
I
with
can-
the Bears.
God, I've acted astounded by his call, but now I'm not sure that I can take the Bears, because can I really believe that the Bears are going to be 2-0?
Well, just keep talking while you decide, because I can't afford to have any more dead
that is
silence
what
in
I'm
this
doing.
episode.
I am just taking up time. But I will... No, you're right, Blaze. I will have to take the Bears.
Yeah, I think there's just... I mean,
At home. They're at home, yes.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
at home. Yeah, they're at home. So we've got
Soldier
our first
Field.
little differentiator there, and Shanaz, you're 1 point clear of me and 2 points clear of
Yeah,
Sam.
but what you
So
to
that-
mention is you've taken the Panthers against the Bucks.
True, I keep
That
forgetting
will hurt.
No, it might not hurt, though. That's the beauty of tipping.
Well, guaranteed. Like, at the moment, we're all agreeing on everyone, but there's no way all those 9 games.
We're not
going to
pick
away.
16 from 16.
Something will go wrong. Someone will cause an upset, and that's the great thing about American football. You never know what's going to happen.
I couldn't agree more.
And it could come in this game.
Except for the next game. 'cause
Except
that
for
is
the next
an
game.
absolute whitewash.
That's the easiest one we're going to pick all night. Tyrod Taylor and the boys are rolling up. Actually, they're not rolling up. Kansas City are coming to them, and they're gonna eat them alive.
Oh, SoFi. We get to go and play SoFi.
Yeah.
Wow, we.
Yeah, we
Two
do
things
too.
to take away.
I didn't put that together. Yeah,
You've just
Here
called
comes the show.
Tyrod and the boys, so he doesn't have a squad of men.
no, they're boys.
They're boys.
Yeah.
And I can now realise I've put 2 and 2 together about why Slammer wants Tyrod to be at the helm.
Because they're in the division.
Yes, and they're playing the Chiefs in week 2. I will be taking the Chiefs, and that's all I have to say.
It's an easy one here. I don't think Tyrod is fit to tie Patrick Mahomes' shoes. No offense, Tyrod.
Especially with Derwin James out.
Especially with Derwin James out, having that
Dylan
secondary.
James is one of the best safeties corners going around.
A
Absolutely.
weakened safety against a guy that can, fit the ball wherever you need it.
Cheetah could go
Whatever
big
he
this week.
friggin' wants.
The Cheetah could go big.
Cheetah
Yeah.
could go big out the back for sure without that extra layer of coverage. I don't think we need to spend too much time. I know we
Chiefs by 30.
I know we love the Chiefs. I'll be taking the Chiefs at the line, whatever it is, take it.
Yeah.
And that should be all she wrote there.
Next
Cardinals, Washington, Slammer, maybe.
I'm confused about how this is.
This
Slam,
is
you
my
wanna-
game of the week.
Yeah.
Now, give me the ball. Because I'm going to tell you why. Now, the reason that I've picked this as Slammer's game of the week.
We're bringing props in
Wow,
these. We're bringing props in these
Did not know
days,
that
are
was
we?
coming, but there we go. So I did ask for it, and I have received it.
Yeah.
So the reason, Blaze, that I've picked this as my game of the week, right? Now you're thinking, Slammer, you're off your chops.
So I'm
Washington-
thinking, Slammer, what have you been?
Washington have had the upset win against the Eagles. You're going way too hard. But the thing that I want to watch in this game is not so much the whole game. The battle itself that I want to watch in this game is we've talked about in the preseason how the Cardinals have not got the best O-line, correct? Now, as I mentioned in the review show from week 1, Peter Schrager said that Washington might just have the best D-line in all of football. A lot of first round picks
talent.
coming out of that Washington D-line. So the thing for me here, Blaze, is can the subpar Cardinals offensive line put up with the Washington defensive line?
Okay.
That's one to watch.
Can Kyler run fast enough to
Exactly.
escape?
He
I
has to
think-
escape because Montez Sweat, Ionitis, Chase Young. They're
It's
going to
Aaron Payne, I think.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
blokes with a lot of skill coming after him. He's going to have to be very nimble and very quick. and
Which
throw it
he
over that
is, though.
candlestick.
That's what he's built for.
He's-
That's what he's built
If
for.
there's anyone in the league, Kyler Murray, in my opinion, he's probably the quickest and most nimble, agile quarterback
I think
at
that's
the moment.
I think
It's
that's
just
fair.
the matchup there that I'm interested in. Obviously, if Kyler can find enough time, Washington's secondary is not as good as their front seven. If he can have enough time to throw to Larry Legend and
D-Hop.
D-Hop, this could get ugly.
It is
But that's just the particular position matchup
I
that
don't actually-
I've got one to
I
watch.
don't actually have many issues with that. I think in a lighter on week for marquee kind of matchups, we've said it before. Chase Young is a big ticket item regardless.
Absolutely.
You want to watch him play football. The Cardinals have got a lot going on in terms of just entertaining the factors that you can identify. Kyler
And a coach who has a
Yeah.
turtleneck
Don't
sweater.
get confused. I'm 100% taking the Cardinals to win here, but
course.
that is just an interesting little tidbit from that game to watch.
Yep, and I've got no issue with that whatsoever. I'll be taking the Cardinals as well.
Likewise, I'll also be taking the Cardinals.
Excellent. So, moving on to our last 3 games of the weekend.
Might be a bit of shade here thrown by us about the Texans and Ravens not being one of the games of the week.
There could be. I don't think
No,
after
the Texans don't deserve it after what they put up last week.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they're a bit light on for cred with us at the moment. Is
Two elite quarterbacks, though.
That's
Sadly
Maybe-
for the Texans, that's pretty much where it stops. Although, as we said, the running back at Houston, David Johnson,
Yep.
had a very nice game against the Chiefs.
A bit of a comeback game.
A very nice comeback game. And as we said in the season previews, if he can get back to that sort of form, it's a steal. Quite frankly, they were going to give up because they didn't want to give D-Hop the money that he clearly wanted. They got something in return for a player that they got at nothing value. He could end up being really good. He caught passes well. He ran well. Moved, juked, did all the things that he did do in that breakout season in Arizona. It looked really sharp. If he can have a season like that and keep moving forward to that, they couldn't be unhappy with it.
As well, Watson will build a bit of cohesion with his new wide receiver group as well.
Yeah.
So their offense could be in the right direction. JJ Watt, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't play week 1?
No, he played.
No,
Just didn't play very well.
Yeah, didn't get near it.
Yeah, because normally their defense sort of went how he went.
As I said, TJ Watt is now the better Watt.
Yeah. But that was a very hot take early on in the piece, and I think it's probably probably standing up for the time being. That wide receiver room is wider now with Brandon Cooks.
And he didn't get used that much.
But
the things he did do, he did well.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the question.
Yeah, they didn't. I think we mentioned it as well. The Chiefs managed the game clock a lot better.
Absolutely.
Yes, there wasn't.
The Chiefs didn't have much change there. They were just going in doing the same things they already did. The Texans obviously had to change a lot of things.
We might be undervaluing the Texans' performance, although it wasn't good and we didn't take a lot away from it. They still played the best team in football, and unlucky to be playing probably the second. I was
going to say, how stiff are you as a team?
The worst opening.
You have the Chiefs, and then you have the Ravens.
That's a big middle finger from the NFL scheduling department.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien's thinking, what the?
Someone must be a Texans fan up there and going, him and his GM ways have just sent me off.
Maybe they're trying to lull the AFC South into a false sense of hope, and then they're going to run home hard.
Potentially. Hey, Baltimore, I don't know that there's much to be said that hasn't been said already.
Dolphins look good.
Yeah, Dolphins look good. In that offense.
Everyone pretty much looked good.
It's hard to not look good.
Hollywood Brown, did he do much, Naj?
Yeah, it's a good question.
He was your breakout player.
No, I didn't.
That was where you took over the segment. You had your player. That was your one breakout player.
And to be honest, I was caught up in the stats of that whole offense and just sort of thought it was a pretty even performance.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Andrews, I think you called out last episode.
I did.
Amazing.
He played well. Dobbins played well.
Yeah.
I think they're a well-rounded team.
They are.
I think they just lacked a bit of... I think we discussed this as well in the season previews, that they just lacked a little bit of experience last year in the playoffs.
I am always going to have a question mark on the Ravens until I can see Lamar win a postseason game. Currently, 0 for 2. And there is that thing about the Ravens, the stigma of they have to be in front. They're not a team that can come from behind. So until I see him prove me any different in January or February, there is that little hint of doubt. No matter how good they have been during the regular season.
You'll get absolutely
his win-loss record speaks for itself. It's absolutely amazing. It's better than Patrick Mahomes' but I think he hasn't done what Patrick's done in the postseason.
In saying that, though, I think it's 3 Ravens.
I think it's 3 Ravens.
It's 3 Ravens.
This is the 3... I was going to go 3-eyed Raven. Didn't quite work.
That would have been a good one if you got that out.
Yeah, it would have been one of your better ones.
You do love a pop culture reference.
But this is where you guys are getting into me now, because I'm getting
You're rattled.
I'm getting shell shocked away.
Just got to believe in yourself.
I'm not even taking the good ones.
Just reach for it.
Grab life by the cojones.
Grab the Scott of men. Bring him with you.
I need evacuation.
Seahawks, Patriots.
Seahawks, I think we've touched on it a couple of times recently, are a pretty powerhouse squad of men, Schnars.
Oh, God.
Patriots probably surprised a few people in week 1 in terms of they looked really solid. They didn't roll over the Dolphins.
That was an awful game.
Yeah, it was an awful game. But with that said, I don't think the Patriots...
Exceeded expectations.
Exceeded expectations is the best way to put it.
With the 21-11 win.
Well, I think...
Well, you tipped the Dolphins, so they exceeded your expectations.
Yeah, that was more out of hatred than anything else.
Very well put, Schnazi. Very well put. Hey, I don't think you're going to get too many complaints here with the Seahawks at home.
No.
Russell Wilson looked fantastic in week 1.
Absolutely.
We've touched on that. If Cam can come out and do his thing, it could be an interesting little smoky for a game of the week type contender. But
I am probably what I'm the most interested in this game is the defense from the Patriots.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of talent, as Slammer will attest.
He's articulated very well.
Bill Belichick just seems to grab people, put him in his big cauldron,
plug and play,
mix them up, send them out there to play, and he's just got an army of men who just go out there and play defense.
Yes, he is the defense against the dark arts master. that guy.
He is.
Well, yeah, there's probably something to be said. He must have like the mind for it, and he can motivate these guys and get them to understand it quite quickly.
So if they can, restrict the Seahawks, and then Cam can run, get the ground game's going to be good with Cam.
He's still not throwing
According
anyone.
might not be, depending which end of the table you're sitting at.
Yep.
I'm shaking my head.
This could be a bit closer, but I'm going to tip the Seahawks, but pessimistic, optimistic. Patriots defense could make it a bit of a closer
You
game.
offer a contrarian opinion. That's why we love your bandwagon. Even though you bandwagon to whatever's good, you will offer that contrary opinion.
And when you've gone for the
occasion.
Patriots for the last 10 years as well, you've got a bit of a soft spot.
It's been known to happen, hasn't it?
Flavor?
I'll be taking the Seahawks by 14 plus.
Wow, so they're going to smoke them. I'm taking the Seahawks too.
That's three Hawks.
I'm not game enough to put any line
3
on
Hawks.
it. But
Nice. Like that from you.
3 Hawks.
Only to be outdone by Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 4.
Okay.
Last game of the round, BT. Give it to us.
All right, Oakland. No, it's not Oakland anymore, guys. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. You're going to reprogram my brain.
Coming off a win.
Coming off a win. In some respects, a surprising win. I know that me and Chucky, we didn't tip the Raiders week 1, but we're kind of jaded towards them anyway. They're coming up against the New Orleans Saints, who did a number on the Bucks. And if they're anywhere as good as advertised, and as Schnarr suggested last week, the Bucks weren't that bad. The Saints were that good.
First game at the Las Vegas Stadium here, Blake.
First game at Las Vegas Stadium. As we've mentioned before, no fans in.
No fans.
But a really nice holographic season
But to be
ticket
fair, Blaze,
box
how many
received.
fans would have rocked up for the Raiders anyway?
Well,
I don't think they're
going to have to
attendees.
They're going to have to stop all
But not
80.
fans.
They're going to have to stop all 80 people getting into that ground.
No, I think you're off the mark here. Attendees and fans are different here. Las Vegas, tourist hotspot.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of
Their
tourists.
population in
A lot
Las
of
Vegas
tourists.
is like Nevada's less than 1 million people or something like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of, high rollers, a lot of
tourists.
fans,
a lot of breeze-ins.
a lot of attendees, not a lot of fans.
That's right. It's a really good way to put it,
No
Schnazzy.
different to Oakland.
You've actually been on point tonight, Schnaz, with your articulation and words and whatnot. So I'm really
Oh,
proud
hang
of
on.
you.
He had one of the biggest mares at the start of this episode.
What wans?
Yeah. There
Yeah,
was
but
a
you
couple
know,
of
that's a long
absolute
time in the
shockers.
past now. Hopefully not too long for the fans at home. Raiders v Saints, again, I don't think we're going to get much disparity here. New Orleans.
I can't wait to see Josh Jacobs in this one. He did a lot week 1. I'd love to see what he can do here. Sneakily, this might not be as one-sided as probably it looks, but obviously I will be taking the Saints.
Yeah, I think you'd be a brave man to take the Raiders, even though it is in the new stadium. And I guess the theory last week was that the Rams would beat the Cowboys because of the new stadium. But this is a different kind of kettle of fish for the Raiders to beat the Saints.
Completely different.
Yeah.
What I'm most interested to see.
It's not a great opener to get New Orleans, probably the most complete roster of the entire NFC, on your debut of your new stadium.
Yeah.
Lucky there's no fans, that's all I can say. I'll be taking the Saints, and I'm keen to see Drew Brees throw the thing.
Yeah.
Because we know Kamara signed the contract, played a huge game, defense came up huge. Brees puts it together, most well-rounded team.
Yeah, and they've got some question marks, I guess, and certainly in the last 3 years of a really promising, great, like you say, probably the best lineup top down in terms of overall talent.
They're the best regular season team getting around.
Might sack you 7 times in Madden too.
So true. They're the best.
Cam
regular
Jordan coming off the
season
edge.
team, but the Saints do have a bit of a postseason.
Not dissimilar to the Baltimore Ravens at the minute.
Absolutely.
So
But yeah, it's just
they've probably got a little bit to show yet, and you won't find out about that until probably about 17 weeks' time. But with that said, I think they should get the job done on the Raiders relatively
we can all agree.
straightforward. Yep, okay. So let's get those tips in the books, boys. That's the week that is coming.
I think next week as well, we will definitely be offering a more diverse opinion.
well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Well,
Because this week we can understand it's, as we said, week 2, not the most attractive round for marquee matchups.
Just a lot of short price favourites.
If you do have an issue with the lack of disparity in the tips, maybe write a letter to Roger Goodell or something like that. 'Cause
Feel free to come at us.
we don't have heaps to
Right
do with it.
to the
Hit us up
networks
on the-
as well.
Hit us up on the socials and
Bengals
tell us
versus
why we were
Browns is
wrong.
your prime time game.
Well,
Raiders and
I think
Saints
there
are
is
prime
something
time
in the
game.
contract
Well,
that
Schnaz,
every team gets one Thursday night game.
Yeah, but why would you...
So
I get
one that like those two teams might actually be competitive in. Maybe
you
put them
guys,
up against
you
two
guys both
powerhouses.
want to make. If you both want to make a song and dance about the fact there's no disparity, take a punt because I took a punt on the Panthers and you both shut me down.
I tipped the Giants over the Bears. That was different to you
The
two.
Giants. That was. The
All right,
Giants.
all right. We're getting a bit narky here in the booth. It's been a bit of I don't know. There's a bit of tension in the air tonight. I'm not sure. Hey, socials. Facebook and Instagram, Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan. Twitter, SSBF Podcast. Social media. Clips are out now. We're starting to pull them
Jim
through.
Tiki's doing a number on
Jim
us.
Tiki is doing an absolute number. Probably the most valuable player at the minute. That's probably a stretch.
Based off tonight's performance.
He's fourth on my pecking list, but
fourth.
that's okay.
He's working really hard. He's doing a really good job. So
Might
make
be
sure
a round
you
one pick next year.
That's right. Keep checking him out. Keep sharing him to your mates. Little bite-sized pieces for you to get your teeth stuck into.
Oh, now, did we mention the monthly...
We haven't as yet.
No, maybe give that a plug, Blaze.
Jersey Cartel, as we've kind of mentioned in a couple of our recent shows, and certainly tonight, have come on board as our marquee sponsor. Now, what he has very generously offered us is a monthly giveaway to our top
fan.
Our top fan is what we're going to call it. And how that is going to be measured is essentially going to be in the most up-to-date, constant fan engagement with all of our socials and all of our postings,
sharing,
comment.
commenting.
So it's a real
getting around the lads.
It's going to be a real method for us to try and encourage you guys to continue to get around us, because we've had a great time so far, and we've had a lot of luck in terms of guys tuning in and helping us out.
Still in our infancy, and we want to grow.
Exactly, and that's
if you'd
the main
like
goal.
a free jersey,
and well, that's right.
There's
exactly
one way to
right.
get
Solid,
Of
one.
your choosing.
very
of your
well
choosing.
said.
That's the thing. We're not just going to have a jersey pre-made, ready here to auction off to you. If you win Fan of the Month, you are going to be able to choose your size, your team, your player, everything to your choosing.
Fully customizable down to the name on the back, customizable within region. You have to pick an active player, but that's besides the point. What the Jersey Cartel is offering us is super, super generous, and we're really stoked to have him on board. Proudly sponsored, proudly brought to you by whatever you want to say. To have his support early on in our infancy, as you rightly put, Schnaz, is fantastic.
Massive.
And like you say, get on there, share us, tell your mates, follow, subscribe, do the whole bit.
Because it will be worth your while.
And we'll be checking it out, and when we identify the winner, we will be posting it. We'll be letting you know. We'll get you in touch with the Jersey Cartel, and it will be happy days at your house. And that's a guarantee.
That is a guarantee. That's a jersey that if you bought off the
Jersey.
NFL website would cost you over $100.
Correct, and that's just straight facts. And we're just giving it away. YouTube, like and subscribe to our channel, Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan. Likewise on Spotify, give us a follow. Those things are massive for support for us. And we'll be coming to Apple Music really, really soon. We're working on that day by day as it comes. Hope you've enjoyed tonight, Slam, and maybe take us away for another night of Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan.
Thank you, Blaze. He's been Slim. I've been Slam. That's the Bandwagon Fan. Good night.